Well, after an exciting weekend of golf, the elevated events schedule rolls on, and it's no time off for the PGA Tour's best. As they head to Harbor Town Golf, links on Hilton Head Beach or Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. We also have the Masters recap, live stuff, all that fun stuff. It's the RBC Heritage. Nate, give us a little Nate intro here. What do you got?
I have nothing but excitement because the mercury hit 80 today in Minnesota and the snow melted, and I think we are going to get a chance to play golf finally. So I'm all smiles over here in my little corner of my house, my little closet over here. Ready to talk a little heritage though. Heritage 8 RBC Heritage. And one of the things, a couple of things to knock right out of the way is it's a new designated event, right? I mean, which is interesting. It's never been that way before. The pros rarely play this event, like the upper echelon of guys rarely play this event because it's week after the Masters. But they wanted to rotate some of those. Some of those designated events will always be designated events. I could foresee Genesis, for example, always being designated. But there's a few that are going to rotate and roll through to kind of bring some name recognition and some bigger crowds and obviously some more money to different communities. One of those is going to be Hilton Head Island, at the RBC Heritage. We can only hope that someday down the road, the 3M is a designated event and we get some of these big names to come our way, which I think is in the long-term plan. I think that's kind of part of what they want to do.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen soon because some of these guys are already complaining about golf, and we'll get to that a little bit later. RBC Heritage is probably one of the oldest events. It's a big one. 1969, I do believe, is when it started. It's known for its huge charity events, stuff like that. Also, kind of some of the biggest names in golf have won here. The five-time guy, Davis Love the Third. Is that the right guy? He's won this 5 times. Jack Nicklaus, some of the other big names have won this one. But yeah, designated event. Big news there. Rory is withdrawn from it. It's his second designated event that he's missing, which is kind of troublesome. And there's really been no reason on why he's not making it to this event yet. So we haven't had the news on that, which is very interesting.
I think he's still busy crying.
Oh my God, that he missed the cut five. Or that guy's never going to complete the Grand Slam. Just so you know, it's just not going to happen. He does not show well at the Masters, and with all the political stuff going on behind golf, his mind is somewhere else. And with how much golf he has to golf, I mean, these live guys show. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's focus on RBC Heritage. Okay, it's known for its lighthouse, the jacket, the trophy, some of the big stuff on that.
Yeah, they got a plaid jacket, gold jacket, green jacket. Give me the plaid jacket.
What I found interesting, and it's very similar to the guys that work there. So are we going to dress up as guys that work there now? I don't know. One thing that I actually just learned about this is that they actually pair the pros with Pro-Am guys for the first 2 days. I didn't know that. There's 130 some golfers that actually show up for this event, and they actually pair them with Pro-Am guys, which is interesting. And like you said, being a designated event, it's kind of, now that these guys have to be there, it's kind of interesting to see how it's going to work out with the Pro-Am guys.
That is something that maybe is becoming more common. We saw it at Torrey Pines, I want to say, at the Farmers, and it's something that you see a lot at Pebble Beach. So I think that might be something that's growing in popularity, broadening the game into other avenues. But the AMs who play it, you still have to pay like thousands of dollars to be an AM. So I don't know that it's like changing the elite nature of the game, but still, kind of cool, a chance to get to play with the pros if you got the cash for it.
So let's jump right into the power rankings. You're not going to see Rory in the top 5 because he won't be there. Another big name that is not showing up here in the power rankings in the top 5 is Jon Rahm. Very interesting. Ranked 14th in the power rankings.
Emotional high. I don't know. I could see him having a fairly down week. I mean that kind of makes some sense to me.
He's golfing good though. That's the problem. I mean, he's
I
when
know.
he's golfing and not have food poisoning and withdrawing halfway through, he's scary. Another guy that you won't see here, that's kind of this is it sucks to tell you guys about it if you haven't already heard about it, but it sounds like Will Zalatoris' season's over, and possibly his career, because it sounds like he's having back surgery, and he was a fun guy to watch play. I followed him quite a lot last year, and having him win his first, coming so close so many times, and finally winning a PGA Tour event. Just watching that guy break down. But his side bend, dude. These young guys, that side bend that they got going on, I just it can't be good for the back, and you might be seeing it there, because it sucks we're not gonna be able to watch him play for the rest of the year.
Are there rumors of his career maybe being over? I knew
Mm-hmm.
that he was up for the year, but there's some speculation about his career too.
I've read some,
Wow.
whatever you want to take it, but yeah, I mean, to come back from back surgery, and then the way he hits the ball and how he torques his side bend is if you watch a few videos of him. No surprise, Patrick Cantlay, Cameron Young, Colin Morikawa up there, 1, 2, 3. Scotty at 4, Matt Fitzpatrick 5, Victor Hovland 6. I would have switched out Colin and Victor for that 3, 6 spot, put him a little bit higher. Jordan Spieth, I think he's perfect at 8. I don't know. It's after watching the Masters and seeing some of those live guys there, it's weird not seeing Brooks Koepka there. You know what I mean? Or Phil with his just phenomenal putting at the Masters. I mean, it's just weird not seeing some of those guys there. So
So I'll speak to your live comment in just a moment, but Jordan Spieth is the defending champion, so to see him at number 8 isn't surprising. Top 10 in the power rankings makes a lot of sense. But it just shows that you can play after the Masters, the week after the Masters, and play well. This isn't a foregone conclusion that it's going to go to, Ricky Fowler or someone who didn't play in the Masters. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I think like those guys who played well in the Masters,
right.
and obviously Jordan Spieth did, they just sort of have this down week because of all of just the emotional high and the stress and all of that. But kind of going full circle here to your Rory comment, which again, we don't know why he's not playing this week. He should be playing this week. He had his week off of the designated events. And so it sounds like maybe he's going to lose some pit money as a penalty. But if it is fatigue, if it is injury, Spieth kind of spoke to that about himself too after the Masters.
So that's perfect that you're tailing into this, because I think that might be why he's at 8 and not in the top 5 as you would, because of what he tweeted. If you want to share that with us, I'll pull up the.
Kyle Porter, who was the CBS golf guy, he sent out a tweet that basically the question was, what do you attribute to your mental mistakes to? And I don't know that this was his interview because
Right.
it's just transcript, but he pulled the transcript from it. And Spieth basically said, I think I played way too much golf into this being the Masters. I came into it mentally fatigued and you overwork this week every year. I played too much golf in this is 8 out of 10 weeks, so I need to change my schedule going forward to be a little sharper this week, and that has a lot to do with it. So the screenshot is a little bit longer, the transcript's a little bit longer, but I think that speaks to it. You have to peak at the right times for majors, and if the designated schedule stays as it is, I gotta believe, like, remember he played Valspar, him and Justin Thomas played Valspar when everyone else seemed to take that week off, and because they had just played a handful of designated events in a row, and it just felt like that might have been too much. You take that week off, maybe you're a little fresher. I don't know. It just feels like Valspar
I
is gonna
love this,
take a
dude.
run to that.
And it totally plays into the whole live thing, where these guys are only playing 3 days. They're not playing, as many events and stuff like that. They get a little bit. It's I don't know. It hasn't been too much golf for years, but now that they're making these designated events, it's going to be a lot tougher for these guys. So the article reads on as you're saying, and it sounds like Spieth wants a change, a little bit of a change in the future. So he hopes there's change as far as these designated events and whatnot.
Right. And if not the designated events, like I said, I could see him just not playing the tier 2 events, like Valspar. I could just see him just not going, even in weeks that he may have gone, years where he may have gone there before, just deciding not to go,
So I did a little bit of research on this is my surprise question for you. I did a little bit of research on this PIP money. Okay, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm a casual golf fan. I wouldn't say okay, maybe I'm a little bit more than casual. We got a company that's around a podcast for golf here, but those I didn't know much about PIP money. Okay, I didn't even know what PIP stand for. Do you know what PIP stands for?
Player Impact Program.
Okay, so when this first started, it started in what, 2021, I do believe.
Yeah.
And it went to
right.
10 guys, and it was $20 million. Okay, well, there's still lawsuits going on how Phil's trying to get his cut from that, and so is Brooks Koepka. I'm pretty sure there's still some legality stuff going on there. But now, for this year, there's 20 golfers, and there's $40 million that gets split between all these guys. 2021 or 2022, you know who was number one on the list and only played 9 rounds of golf, I do believe?
Oh, yeah, it was Tiger.
So Tiger won this PIP money. So do you know how they decide who gets this PIP money?
PIP, okay, so a little bit of commentary here. PIP is bullshit. And it's bullshit because it was designed to keep the young talent around, I believe. So guys wouldn't. It's a little extra incentive, so you're not going to LIV. Well, who were they afraid was going to go to LIV in the first place? The younger guys, the young talent. We want to keep our young talent around. You can't give the big check to freaking Tiger Woods. He doesn't.
This gets better.
He's already got standing. He's already there. Give it to, I don't know, because I did the player feature on him, Justin Suh, or. And even not so much Max Homa now, but 2 years ago, Max Homa, that, like, those guys who are gonna be your next stars, who you want to keep around. How is the PIP money decided? I saw it once. There's like 4 different categories. One of them is social media impact.
Yeah, so here I'll read it for you. This program aims to recognize players who drive fan and sponsor engagement, increase television ratings, and bring more attention and excitement to the sport through the PGA Tour's media platforms and exposure rating and social media following.
Tiger's been winning the PIP for 20 years. He is the reason people watch golf. We know this. Yes, we get it. How are you going to move on from Tiger? Because Tiger's getting old. Tiger has to withdraw from majors. You need to bring in interest and engage with your younger players.
So here's the list
and keep going with Tiger.
Here's the list from 2022, okay? $15 million of the 40 went to Tiger Woods, number 1. $12 million of it went to Rory, $9 million to Justin Spieth, $7.5 million Justin Thomas, $6 million to Jon Rahm. Dude, Scotty Scheffler was winning the Masters and all these tournaments, the Waste Management, all this stuff, and got $5.5 million. Xander Schauffele got $5 million. So you're comparing Xander and Scotty during the 2022 season as far as money-wise. Matt Fitzpatrick, $5 million. Will Zalatoris, $5 million. Tony Finau. The guy was on fire last year, and I was watching a lot more golf, and I was focusing on Tony because he went on a tear. Colin Morikawa, $3 million. Shane Lowry, $3 million. Kevin Kisner, Max Homa, Billy Horschel, all $3 million. Billy Horschel, the guy got $3 million, and he's not even. Ricky Fowler got $2 million. Adam Scott got $2 million. Jason Day got $2 million. Patrick Cantlay got $2 million. Victor Hovland got $2 million. I don't agree with it. I don't know. I don't like how it's dispersed. Cameron Young, Sam Burns, those guys Each earned 2. Hideki earned 2. I don't know.
Cameron Young should be on this list. He was a young guy. He
He's
was
an
a rookie.
honorable mention on this list, dude. So there's 23 people that got money. He's like an honorable mention. Sam
What
Burns.
are you doing giving your money to Tiger Woods? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, we know he moves the needle. We know.
When he
Everybody
wins,
knows.
but he's not bringing anyone new to the tour.
There it is. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 25 years ago. Absolutely. He is the reason that pre-designated event, we saw the increase in purse anyway. He's been winning the PIP for 20 years. But what are you going to do when he's done?
So here,
he's done.
This goes right into that Colin Cowherd clip that I was talking to you about, and I'm going to play that really quick. It's a short clip. I won't play the whole thing.
Taking the money, but I'm a golf casual, and according to TV ratings, that's 90% of golf viewers in America. I watch for the golfer. I don't watch for the flowers. I don't watch for the history. I don't give a rip about it. I watch great golfers, and I watch Brooks Koepka, and I was rooting for Brooks, and I was rooting for Phil Mickelson, and I know a lot of you think they're amoral and you don't like them, but you know what? They proved their point. Phil Mickelson has never, that's as good as an old guy plays golf. He's not as grind. He lost a lot of weight. He just looked fantastic. He's a little more humble. He's not as boisterous. He's not as cocky. He doesn't have the adoring crowd.
But I don't want to get too much into it. But Colin talks about how the casual fan isn't there for the flowers and the history and the blah, blah, blah. There's a guy at my work that's a huge golf fan, knows a lot about golf, and he hates LIV because there's the lack of history. Where Colin talks about the casual fan is watching golf for the golfers. Who moves the needle? Phil Mickelson, dude, he moved the needle for me, dude. When I seen him come roaring up from the back, that's all I could set my Masters app to, was trying to watch every swing of his. And some of these putts this guy was draining. It was phenomenal. The guy's 52 years old. He's won it 3 times. And his last win was the PGA Tour Championship to 2021, right? That before he went to LIV, right?
Yeah, the PGA at Q1 2021.
Yep. So watching, and Brooks Koepka, the guy was just on fire for the first 3 days, laid an egg the last day, but it was just phenomenal to watch, like, competitive golf, and it was kind of weird that, like, how it was like LIV didn't even exist. Like, they didn't want to give him any publicity, and, like, it wasn't even match, like, oh, this is their first time playing each other in so long. Like, you never heard that type of conversation then. It was like these guys have been playing together all year. Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. I in some respect, I enjoy
absolutely
not making it, the division.
Keep the politics out.
I'm going to throw the angel on one shoulder and the devil on another and try to, like, play against myself a little bit here. Because a large part of me agrees with your buddy Mike. Who, by the way, I just saw on Thursday night. They were playing Sim League up at Riverwood. And a large part of me totally understands where Colin Cowherd is coming from. The part of me that is the PGA Tour side and the legacy side says nobody's going to want to watch a league full of guys who, we saw it in full swing, said they can't hang with these guys anymore because they're injured or because they're old, or you're Sergio Garcia and your career's over anyway. Lee Westwood, your career's over anyway. You can't sustain a tour on guys who are old. It's just, we have the Champions Tour for that, and nobody watches that. You need to bring excitement. And that next step isn't asked. I feel like the deep golf fan in me says, I know that Phil Mickelson just is getting old, that these things are the case. But there's a lot of people out there who know Brooks Koepka has 4 majors, who know Cam Smith is a great golfer, and that one does sting. But who else? That Bryson was supposed to be a very, very good golfer. He just won a U.S. Open in reality. Dustin Johnson, very, very good golfer, who also laid an egg at the Masters, but still should be in the prime of his career. They don't want to let go of some of those names. the casual fans like, I want to watch Dustin Johnson play. I like Dustin Johnson. He used to hit it a mile.
Yeah.
I loved what Bryson was doing, and
Mhm.
and they just want to watch those guys play. And so that's kind of my battle here, because Solly from No Lane Up was on Pat McAfee's show. What day is it today? Thursday, probably Tuesday. And have you watched McAfee's show ever? He's got a YouTube show that he does. It is freaking massive. He's actually really fun, but he's a football guy. And they cover all sports, but they don't really cover golf. So they bring in the head guy, No Laying Up. And what were they worried about in that event, or what were they worried about in that conversation? One, those trees that fell in that storm,
Yeah,
which
crazy.
was wicked, and Tiger Woods. Well, like, you and I look at this and we go, holy cow, what's John Rahm doing? What's Jordan's
Whoop-de-doo
doing?
about Tiger Woods. The guy can barely walk.
But Tiger moves the needle for people who don't watch golf. Like, they're not. I don't want to say don't watch golf. Who aren't
Casual fan.
who are casual fans, who are Colin Cowherd, which is fine. The casual fan wants to watch Brooks Koepka because they know Brooks Koepka. He wants to watch Dustin Johnson. He wants to watch Bryson because they know those names. And so I get that too, and I need to keep that in mind when we have these conversations, because, like, my arguments against LIV, I think, are valid. You can't sustain a tour on the villains and the guys who want to play less golf. That seems weird. But I totally get where LIV could see a bump here, because the guys who were absolutely vilified as they went for the money, they this, were quite endearing. Even right down to Patrick Reed, who took, fourth or whatever in the Masters. So LIV could see a nice little bump here.
And I just want to go on the record saying that I called Brooks Koepka, saying that he was going to be good. So cool. I just wanted a little bit of. I know a
And
little bit.
kudos to you.
I know a little bit.
It's deserved. It's
know.
deserved.
And I mean, just Rory missing the cut was just so exciting. But did you hear this rumor or conspiracy that Justin Thomas bogeyed 18 to allow Tiger to get in?
Well, yes, I did, because people are dumb. Because it wasn't just Justin Thomas. Sung J M also had to bogey his way out. I think he was on 17. He might have bogeyed 17 and 18, or just 18. It had to happen for both of them for Tiger to make the cut, and it did. Like, they both bogeyed. So, like, there's the jokes about the good buddies that Justin Thomas and Tiger are and whatever. Like, that's a funny joke. Just like it's a funny joke that it's no wonder Brooks Koepka lost in the final round because he's only used to playing 3 rounds. The jokes.
So the whole of course he lost. Well, the vice versa can say for Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson didn't have a very first good 3 days, and then all of a sudden the last day he just came flying up. Patrick Reed played a solid 4 rounds.
Right, and I still think this Phil thing is a fluke.
LIV wins, dude. LIV won huge.
LIV is ultimately the big winner here, although I would like to see a full body of work. How do they fare in the other 3 majors? If we get the same thing or something close to it, I'm not saying 3 of the top 4 have to be LIV guys. But they hang around, a bunch of them top 10.
Yeah, you tweeted there was like 17 players, 13 made the cut or something like that?
You're just off. I think it was 12 of 18.
12 of 18, yep.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Right. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome for LIV, and I really think that that's the kind of thing that is going to endear people to LIV and remind them that these guys are human. And granted, they made a choice, and you can think what you want about the morals and ethics of that. But again, like, I don't know if you played exactly what Colin Cowherd said about that, but he said, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I want to watch golf. And I want to watch guys who I like golf.
It's a very interesting video, and if you can watch the whole thing, it's actually pretty good, because it's funny you brought up the villain thing, because he does talk about that and how golf needed that. I mean, the RBC total purse is like $1.4 million right now, ain't it?
No, it's 20 because it's designated.
Or yeah. I'm sorry. 20. It's 1.4 goes to the winner, or
Correct.
1.2 goes to the winner. I think that's what it was. But having that villain really created more money for these guys.
And that's what makes Phil such an enigma, is that the reason these designated events exist is because Phil brought light to some of the things, some of the things that he said that seem so outlandish about how much money is in the coffers and all of these things with the PGA Tour and, what they're withholding and what they're hiding and whatever the deal was. Well, that all did come to light after LIV was announced. And so to see Phil say what he said and seemed to go off the rails. And then he kind of went dark for a while. Like he just disappeared.
And then he shows up and lost 50 pounds, and the guy looks great.
Yeah, but then, like, did you hear the rumors, too, of, like, he went to the Champions Dinner and didn't say a word to anybody? Like, he was just kind of, like, he's been an odd figure, like, compared to who he used to be.
Do you blame
But then
him?
he comes here. No, I don't, but I'm just saying,
okay.
like, he's sort of changed his whole persona. But he's still the old Phil who can still play this game. And at this point, straight quality of life. Would you rather be Phil at 52 or Tiger at 47? Granted, these are two guys in the previous generation who used to battle it out.
Can I pick Tiger's bank account and Phil's golf game and physique?
Shit, give me Phil's bank account. I don't care. That's still pretty damn good.
I do like on the set list here, it says, and not to be jerks, will help this ratings of CW.
Yeah. Well, and because they weren't. Phil, did I put the link in there? I don't think I did. I think I have it on my phone. Phil was super complimentary of John Rahm in his press conference.
Well, there was rumor that John Rahm might be going to live there for a while.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah.
Because he was like, and he still said, I think he might have said it again recently, like, listen, we got to stop this divide. This is dumb. This is stupid. But also, if he were to go, it wouldn't surprise me, because I've said forever that this is a global league. The LIV. Like, if you're gonna, obviously there's a handful of Americans there, but the biggest names that have gone are Cam Smith, Joaquin Neiman, some of the more global guys. Sergio Garcia was one of the first to go. Lee Westwood was. It's just not an American thing, because we don't gravitate to teams quite the same way that maybe the rest of the world does. And that could be speaking out of school too. I don't even know that for sure, but just one of those things that sticks out to me. It's a global thing, and so I could see John Rahm wanting to go, but I think he'll end up staying. But the point is, these guys weren't jerks about it. They were very appreciative to be back at the Masters, excited to be back at the Masters. There was never any like, yeah, F Rory this or none of that. There wasn't any of that. They were just glad to be back and see the guys.
It was, like I say, it was good quality golf. It was a lot of fun to watch all the way up till the end. It was good. And on 17, when Rahm had to hit that provisional, or 18, he had to hit that provisional. There was a hint to me that was like, oh boy, this could get a little hairy.
But wasn't it like a 4-shot lead at the time?
I
think it was I don't see that happening, but that would have taken a lot. But yeah, ultimately, I think I'm not that I had a ton of animosity, because I'm a golf fan and it's just kind of fun to take the opposite side of you.
Yeah. I think it's good for it's good for the viewers.
I'll watch more of the LIV golf.
Oh, for sure.
Now that I know that it's gonna pay off. Although I do have this question for you. Cam Smith and Dustin Johnson both finished in like the 30s as far as place.
Mm-hmm.
Are they two LIV guys who we are relying on to play well, or does it not matter where LIV's success comes from, or do you want to see success from those two in particular?
If I could see any success, it'd be like Phil and Patrick Reed, just because of how hated they are at the PGA Tour. That would just really get me going. But yeah, I think the big names, Dustin Johnson, and Cameron Smith are the younger. Dustin Johnson's really not there anymore, but the younger guys of LIV. That would be nice to really see do well.
For sure. I would like to see them in the next 3 majors do better than 30-somethingth place.
If possible.
Because they're names that need to be near the top, because they are needle movers a little bit.
Well, and that's just it too. Like, I don't. Phil's always done really well under pressure. So to watch him come roaring up like that, it's not like it was weird to see, if you know what I mean, versus Dustin Johnson. I really do like Bryson's watching that man golf, because his technique is so unusual. Watching someone putt and swing a club with like his arms locked like that is interesting.
So I never liked him from the start. PGA Tour guy,
Most people
never
don't.
mattered to me. He was, his personality, and there seems to be an arrogance there that I just can't get on board with.
You don't like his hat?
Man, I don't even care about his hat. I think his hat's fine. Whatever. Do your thing, man. Have your trademark. But just there's a certain arrogance. When he walked out there and said, "Yeah, I think Augusta's a par 67 for me." Like, and then he goes out and misses it. Like you're an idiot. But whatever. Anything else on the Masters?
Nah, I mean, we could sit here and talk about it forever, but
I know we could, but I think because of everything we just said and where the LIV guys are at, we should talk a little bit about LIV Adelaide.
What do you mean, LIV Adelaide?
That's the next LIV event. They're off to Australia.
Yeah.
They got 2 or 3 in the global spectrum, I guess.
Grange Golf.
Also, LaGrange.
Grange Golf?
What a great song. LaGrange. ZZ Top, LaGrange. You have homework. Look up LaGrange, ZZ Top. I promise you know the song. Great song. That's a total side note. But that's not for a couple of weeks, because, they like to give their guys a little bit of time, a little bit of breathing room. April 21st through the 23rd at, this Grange Golf Club. And then do they play, how many times do they play leading up to the PGA Championship? LIV schedule. We've got Adelaide. Oh, and then the next week we have Singapore. Oh, they have 3 weeks in a row. Oh, wow, they're actually quite busy. They go LIV Adelaide. The next week, April 28th to the 30th, they go Singapore. And then they're off for a couple of weeks. They go May 12th through the 14th at Tulsa. And then they have the PGA Championship, like the 18th or something is the week after that. And then they're in DC on May 26th. So they actually are going to have to, play some serious golf, hold a tour, not see their families for a couple weeks, which will be, kind of like the old days.
I'd see their dog for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for you, buddy. With this RBC should be pretty interesting. Huge win for the LIV. Check out that Colin Coward clip about Phil, and hit him far, hit him straight. And
I got one more thing for you before we wrap up.
If you made it this far in this podcast, like, subscribe.
We do need to throw that whole line out. But are you for sure going to Fox this year?
I'm not getting a membership this year. I have a 6-month-old baby or 8-month-old baby now. I got a newly built house that I have to finish a basement, put on a deck, and do landscaping around. This is going to be a tough golf year for me, so I will not be getting a membership this year.
Okay, but when you play, I mean, you'll still play a little.
Oh,
bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm still going to play a lot. Yeah, I'm still going to play. I just won't be getting a membership because I don't think there'll be enough.
Maybe not the every Thursday
Right.
kind of round that we used to have. That sounded like a rumbling fart or something.
That's my dog.
We being the Riverwood clan, the league guys at Riverwood, we start tomorrow. Just diving head first. Here we go. So I'm getting my league rounds in tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Because as you know, I'm also having another child here in July, and see how that kind of all blends together, life and golf, and how all that all works out. So, but yeah, golf season is upon us. We are happy to be here, and I meant to catch you before you threw out the hit him far, hit him straight. So I'll let you wrap this up, and I'll just say Chief Lefty, out.
Yeah, hit them far, hit them straight. Like, subscribe, follow if you made it this far. Leave comments, all that fun stuff. And just let us know how we're doing. I'm loving this. You can see all the stuff's cleaned up behind me here. I should be having an office here with some fancy, cool aesthetics behind me with some better quality sound, not reverberating off the wall, all that fun stuff. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Out.